Okay, dropshippers. So today we're going to speak about ABO versus CBO. Since the last Andromeda update, a lot of people have been sending me messages to me and my brother about this update and what has changed. And you need to understand that today we're going to speak about ABO and CBO because a lot of you don't know how to use ABO or how to use CBO. And this is crucial when it comes down to Facebook ads. But before we start, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, we are making videos every single week for you, and we want you to be able to make money and live financially free like we are doing. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And the more questions you ask us, the more messages you send us, the more likes, the more we see you wanting more, then the more we're going to make. So at the end of the day, the ball is in your camp. You decide if you are going to help us, and if you do, we're going to help you back in return. Okay, so let's start and let's dive in because we have a few things to cover. So let's start with the first thing. So what is ABO and what is CBO? So ABO is the ad set budget optimization. So you control the budget at the ad set level. That means that you decide how much each ad set spent. The CBO is campaign budget optimization. So you control the budget at the campaign level. Facebook automatically spends more on the best performing ad set. So what does that mean? It means that on this one, on the ABO, you're going to put budget towards each ad set, and you need to look at each ad set and decide if you want to let him run, if you want to increase the budget, or if you want to decrease the budget, whatever it is, you are manually looking at each ad set and decide what you need to do. And on this one, Facebook does it for you. It's going to spend your money towards the most performing ad set, the one that has, let's say, the most potential. But there's a twist right there because on paper, like I said right here, on paper, CBO looks perfect. And even me, when I started 7 to 8 years ago, I was like, well, why would I use ABO? CBO, like Facebook knows more than me. Everybody says that the Facebook algorithm is better than me. So why would I use ABO instead of CBO? I want to use CBO all the time. But this is the problem. CBO works at a certain time and ABO works at a certain time. So that's why you need to know when to use it. It's basically you have a toolbox and you need to use the right tool at the right time. That's what it is. And today I'm going to explain you when do you want to use the tool at the right time and which tool to use at that exact time. Okay, so CBO often makes mistakes early on. It may spend more on ad set with good metrics like CTR, CPC, but not necessarily on the ones that's generating sales. So what does that mean? It basically means what it says. It means that you're going to run a CBO. And if you're not, let's say, on a scaling level, then you are basically going to spend money and you're testing different things. But the problem is CBO doesn't really know which one is your most performing asset, which one is your most performing creative. So it's not going to perform well. It's going to put money towards, often more than not, towards the one with the best metrics. But that doesn't mean that because an ad set has incredible metrics that it gets sales. A lot of the time, I have ad set with okay metrics, but they get sales every single day. And other times I have ad set with incredible metrics, like there's no tomorrow, but they don't get sales. And this is where you need to pay attention because CBO is going to burn your budget towards the one with the best metric, but that doesn't mean it's the one that will make you the most amount of money. Okay. So when to use each? Use ABO for testing. You can so why you want to use ABO for testing? You can isolate variables, interest, creative, audiences, and see which one performs the best. And after that, you can use the ones that perform the best into a CBO. That's just what it is. You see exactly what gives the best return. So like I said, when you isolate a variable, you see exactly what performs great. You have it in front of your eyes because you know that interest with those creative were working great, and the same interest with with basically the same like another interest with the same amount of creative just didn't perform. So it's the interest that is working better. And the same thing with like, oh, an interest worked with certain creative, you tried now different creative and the interest doesn't work, then you know what creative would work. What it is working. So you will isolate a variable first and you will see, okay, I did isolate that variable. The only thing that I've changed is just the interest. So when I know that the interests work, I've isolated the variable of the creative. So I know the creative works. So perfect for new stores on early phases. So you need to understand that you're a brand new dropshipper. You're not a brand that has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. You're not that. So what does that mean? It means that you want to take control first, guide Facebook towards the right direction, and then eventually let the CBO scale and go towards the moon when you actually have something going on. But CBO is not great when you're starting. You want to do ABO. So use CBO for scaling. So once you already know what works, so basically you have an interest that works, you have a creative that is making you the most amount of sales, then you want to use CBO. You can push big budget out and let Facebook optimize efficiently. So with CBO, you can really control the budget and you can really perform at higher scaling. ABO doesn't quite perform at the highest scaling, so that's why you want to use CBO for big budgets. And that's why I tell you, there's time for each. Now, great for consistent scaling. You need to understand that when it comes down to scaling, when it comes down to being more aggressive, pumping the budget, you want CBO. CBO is way more stable than ABO. ABO is great to try different things at a small budget, see, okay, this work, and try to figure it out something. But after, when you have the pulse all right, you know which interests work, which creative works, which product works. When you have everything going on, what you're going to do is you are going to scale aggressively with the CBO and it's going to perform amazingly well. That's why I say you need a different tool for a different thing. So you will use ABO at the testing and you will use CBO at the scaling. So final advice, Facebook, especially with Andromeda, is pushing everyone towards CBO that benefits big brand who already have a lot of data. So if you listen to what Facebook says about Andromeda, they're going to tell you certain things, yes, because they want to push people that already have brands that are already spending a lot of money. But as a dropshipper, you need to take everything with a grain of salt. But if you're a new dropshipper with few sales, start with ABO, find what works, then go crazy with CBO and already scale. So that's basically what I said on this whole video. So you want to start with ABO and you want to see what works, what doesn't work, and make sure that you have all your cards in front of you and you have everything laid down to have the highest return. The moment that you have the highest return, things are flowing, things are making money. Then now it's time to pump the budget and to scale more aggressively. Then what you want to do? You want to do CBO scaling and you want to go crazy about it. And that's just what it is. So when it comes down to ABO testing, when it comes down to CBO scaling, and I don't think this will change anytime soon. Obviously, there's different things and there's different updates. And I know that Facebook wants to push more CBO, wants to take more control, but Facebook, is smart. Facebook is not stupid. Facebook is going to still let ABO to still put some interest because they know that upcoming brands need more control because the algorithm doesn't know where is their client first. But eventually the algorithm will take over. And that's just what it is. Because yes, we have certain creative with a ton of interest and they're scaling little by little, but we have other creative that are super optimized and that they have no interest. They have advantage post campaign. They have everything optimizing like Facebook wants it, but those campaigns only work with the greatest ones. So, hey guys, if you have any question, Let us know down in the comment section. If you need any help with Facebook, if you need any help with your product and you see inconsistent sales, one day you're profitable, the other day you're not profitable, or you're just simply not profitable all the time, then send us messages down in the comment section and we're going to help you with anything that you need. So guys, this is the video of today. Wish you all an amazing rest of the day. Take care and peace out.